Morning or afternoon if you want, depending on where you're at. This is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and I am going to make a very long trip. Now, I'm going to show you at the end of this video the maps that I'm using. I'm going to go to Shelbyville, to Strasburg, to Charleston, to Mattoon, to Oakland, and then down to Lerna to get signs. I was also going to go to Vandalia today, but I'll tell you what, after all that traveling, I don't know that I'm going to be capable of doing that. Besides, I'm going to be kind of out racing storms today too, so that may not be so practical. Anyway, let's get this trip underway. As you can see here, I got my, hang on folks. You can see here I got my funky little glasses so I don't go blind on the trip. And I will see you all in Shelbyville in just a few, well, for you it'll be a few seconds, for me it'll be a little more than half an hour, but you kind of get the idea. I'll tell you more in a bit. Stay tuned. I'm over here in Shelbyville, Illinois. We are at the Shelby County Courthouse, and I wanted to show you this here. A couple of neat little statues. I'm going to go ahead and read you this here. It says, Shelby County Lincoln Heritage Incorporated, Let's Debate by John McClary. Sculptor John McClary is a former Illinois high school history teacher with an international reputation as an artistic interpreter of Abraham Lincoln. He has won many prestigious awards for his work, including the Order of Lincoln in 2009. His Lincoln statuary is on display in such Illinois cities as Vandalia, Charleston, Decatur, Springfield, New Salem, Taylorville, Hillsboro, Peoria, and Metamora. The positioning and body language of the two statues is meant to convey a spirit of friendly debate in a bipartisan context. The statuary suggests the need that existed then and now to work together in a friendly and civil manner in order to find lasting solutions to common problems. Both Abraham Lincoln and Anthony Thornton exhibited a great magnanimity of spirit during the debate, and the theme of rational political discourse is always timely. Finally, the dramatic placement of the statuary in front of the Shelby County Courthouse visually links the statues to the surrounding natural environment, while at the same time connecting the past of Abraham Lincoln and Anthony Thornton to our ongoing present. And you can see this right here. And now, well, kind of bumping into the statue here, but this, right over here, is one of the Lincoln signs. I read this to you not too long ago. But as you come down here, I'm going to go this way. As you can see here, this is the Shelby County Visitor Center. And as you will notice, there are two signs right here. One's right there, one's right there, and the final sign is actually inside the office, and I'm going to read it to you in just a moment. So, stay tuned. I am at the corner of Main and Broadway here in Shelbyville. Now, I already showed you where the other signs were. And now, I'm going to show you where the final one is. You saw the one at the courthouse, you saw the two in front of the Visitors Bureau and the one inside. And now, here's this one. Look at that! Isn't this pretty? Wow! This is very pretty. Anyway, now you know where the final sign is. Corner of Broadway and Main. Tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned. Good afternoon, everybody. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and I am down here in Strasburg, Illinois. You go on Commercial Street, and you're going to find a park. It's a beautiful park. But that's not all you're going to find here. No siree, Bob. Alright. Guess what else you'll find here? This is kind of the intersection of Cedar, Locust, and Commercial Streets in Strasburg, Illinois. And you're going to find a funky looking bell. Look at that little bell. I'm sure there's a story behind that. Let's see, it says... Yeah, duck when you read this little plaque. Ow, that hurt. The 1914 firehouse bell placed to commemorate the 125th anniversary of Strasburg, Illinois from 1874 to 1999. And there it is, people. There's the bell. But that's not why we came here. We came here for this. Another looking for Lincoln sign. I'll tell you about this one in just a second, so stay tuned. Hello once again, everybody. It's once again Ted the Speed Learner, and what you see across the street is the Amtrak station. And now, what you're going to do is you're going to go over here. And as you can see right across the way, there's a beautiful mural. See that beautiful mural right there? Just beautiful. But what we're looking for is not just this. That's right. It's one of two. And here's the other one. I'll tell you about these in just a moment. Stay tuned. Good afternoon, one and all. It's once again Ted the Speed Learner, and I am at the Charleston Township office, which is on Jackson Street. It's if you come up 4th Street in Charleston and you hit Jackson, you'll find this. Look at this beautiful mural right here. Check this out. Isn't that beautiful? That's not why we're here. I'll show you why we're here. Right over here is another looking for Lincoln sign. But that's not just one. No siree. Here is the other. And I'm going to read these to you in just a moment, so stay tuned. Good afternoon, one and all. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and I am over here at a very beautiful house. I'm going to show you this house right here. Let's take a look at it real quick. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, this isn't any ordinary house. No siree, Bob. Nope, now I bet you can already see there's the Abraham Lincoln sign. This house belonged to the Dr. Hiram Rutherford. This was the home of Dr. Hiram Rutherford, who was involved in 1847 in a case in which Abraham Lincoln represented a slaveholder. Rutherford and Gideon Ashmore harbored a family of slaves who had sought their help. The slaves belonged to Robert Matson, a Kentuckian who had brought them north to work on his farm, while the slaves were being sheltered in Ashmore's tavern. Matson obtained a court order to have the slaves jailed. Rutherford and Ashmore sued out of a writ of habeas corpus for their release. Matson then hired Lincoln. The circuit court, after a hearing, freed the slaves. But that's not why we're here. The real reason why we're here is because of this. I'm going to read this to you in just a second, so stay tuned. Now, I forgot to tell you that this is the Rutherford House, and we are in Oakland, Illinois. Okay, you can see the sign for Rutherford House, and you'll see this from the highway. As you can see there's the sign. And it says these two cars pass. I'll show you, there's the firehouse. So you look for the firehouse. There it is. I'll tell you more in just a moment when we go back. Well, we're going to go back through Charleston to go to Lerna. So I'll tell you more when we get to Lerna. Stay tuned. I'm still in Oakland, and I happen to see this. Not sure quite what it is, but it says the Meeting House, and well, here it is. So if you're ever in Oakland and you go right across the street from the Rutherford House, you'll find that. I'll tell you more when we get to Lerna. Stay tuned. I'm just south of Lerna, and I decided to go ahead and videotape all this. I just happened to find it. I'm headed on my way to the State Historic Site in the Lincoln Log Cabin State Historic Site. I didn't know any of this was here. Now, I'm not going to take the time to read all this. You can pause this video periodically if you want to read all this. Then they have one more little sign over here. I believe this is the Moore House. I'll go ahead and show you this real quick. I'm going to try to find those last two signs. I will tell you more in a little bit. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, it is once again Ted the Speed Learner. Now if you take 4th Street South in Charleston straight down, you're going to find the Lincoln Log Cabin State Historic Site. But just before you do, you're going to find a veer off to the right. And when you veer off to the right, you're going to find this. Okay? It'll say Historical Landmark 1 mile. And this is what you're going to find. This is called the Thomas Lincoln Cemetery. And here is the Shiloh Presbyterian Church. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the cemetery for a second. And then I'm going to head for the State Historic Site. This sign is a little broke. I don't know if anybody knows that or not. Go ahead and read this to you real quick. It says, in Shiloh Cemetery are the graves of Thomas and Sarah Lincoln, father and stepmother of Abraham Lincoln. On January 31st, 1861, shortly before assuming the presidency, Lincoln came here from Springfield to visit his father's grave in company with his stepmother. Now, I'm not exactly sure one of these graves is Thomas and Sarah Lincoln, although I'd imagine it's probably this fenced off one here. I'll go ahead and take a quick tour. Wow. Talk about a nice cemetery. Yep, I was right. This is Thomas and Sarah Bush Lincoln right here. I'll show you this. You can see right over that. There's Thomas Lincoln and Sarah Bush Lincoln. I'm going to walk you right around here. I don't want to deprive anybody of anything. Okay. Thomas and Sarah Bush Lincoln. Thomas Lincoln lived from 1778 to 1851, and Sarah Bush Lincoln lived from 1788 to 1869. Father and stepmother of our martyred president, their humble but worthy home gave to the world Abraham Lincoln. But that is not the real reason why we came out here, although this is kind of pretty. Let's see, lots of graves out here. Not sure, but they got this thing surrounded too. This also says Thomas Lincoln, father of martyred president. This guy was born in January of 1778 and died in 1850 whatever. Can't hardly read it anymore. I'd imagine this is probably his real tomb. You can go over here real quick. But the real reason we came out here you'll see here in just a second. That's because of this. Another looking for Lincoln sign. I'm going to read this to you in just a second, so stay tuned. And here's some more of the cemetery, as you can plainly see. Wow. Alright, I'm headed for my final stop of the day. I will tell you more when I get there, and you'll see me then. This is the Lincoln Log Cabin State Historic Site, and I'm going to take you right up to the visitor center. Right now it's closed. That's okay. We're not going to spend that much time here. This is something you may want to just, you know, come back at some point. This is the Harris Education Center. And right over here it says Sargent Farm. There's a gift shop over here. I guess I can show you that real quick. The gift shop is normally open, let's see, Wednesday through Saturday 10 to 4 and Sunday 12:30 to 4, so come on a Monday you're pretty much out of luck. But the real reason why we came out here, I'll go ahead and show you a couple things. I'm going to read this sign and I'm getting out of here. I've had a long day. It's a good day, but I've had a long day and it's time for me to eat dinner and so on and so forth. Okay, April through October, the visiting center is open 9 to 5. November through March is 9 to 4. Not sure why they're closed today. But anyway, as you can see, plenty to see out here. Right now, we're going to come over here and we're going to videotape this looking for Lincoln sign. This last one I'm going to tape today. Stay tuned. Good morning, folks. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and I am here today, but yesterday I took a very long trip, and I want to tell you all about it. First of all, I went to Shelbyville. The final sign, there are 5 signs in Shelbyville. 4 of them are easily found. I show this in the video. One's that little garden thing they have on Broadway Street. You go to the corner of Broadway and I believe it's Main and Broadway, and you're going to find this little flower area. The second one's at the courthouse. The third one is right next door at the Office of Tourism. Third and fourth are there. And the 5th one is inside the tourism building. I've actually seen it, videotaped it. You saw it yourself. And the lady there was very nice, and thank you very much for letting me videotape in there. That was great. The other thing I have to say to Shelbyville is, to you homeowners, you got to think of what the tourists are going to want. They're going to want to see these signs, especially this summer. So don't think about what you want. Think about what the tourist is going to want to see. And that should resolve your issue. Okay? Anyway, I went from Shelbyville, went on Illinois 16. You're going to go past Lake Shelbyville. Okay, you're going to keep going on Illinois 16 past Lake Shelbyville, and you're going to end up eventually to Illinois 32. Now, I know it seems like forever between Shelbyville and Illinois 32, but you will get there. You're going to make a right turn on Illinois 32, go about 4 miles, you're going to end up in Strasburg. Okay? And Strasburg has a little park. It's beautiful. But at the time I arrived, it was clouding up. I thought it was going to rain. So I quickly went through there, videotaped. You're going to see this on the videotape. You're going to see the clouds, whole 9 yards. And the park is beautiful. If you want a picnic there, that's great. Go for it. Anyway, I videotaped. I came back, got in the car, and then I ended up starting going southbound on 32 instead of northbound on 32, and I had to turn my behind around so I could go back to Mattoon. Well, when you go back on 32, you're going to make another right-hand turn, back on the 16, start heading for Mattoon. Now, between Strasburg and Mattoon, there is road construction right now. It's not going to be there forever, but it's road construction right now, and they're paving the road. So watch it when you go through there. It was really slow traveling there. Alright, once you get into Mattoon, you're going to be on Marshall Avenue. Okay? Illinois 16 turns into Marshall Avenue. Just the way it is. You're still on Illinois 16, but it's now called Marshall Avenue. And you're going to travel all the way to 21st Street. And the numbers of the side streets are 35, 30, you're going to start about 35th Street, you go to 34th, 33rd, so on and so forth, all the way down to 21st Street. And then you're going to make a left-hand turn from Marshall Avenue to 21st Street. And then you're going to make a right-hand turn from 21st Street to Charleston Avenue. Now, you're supposed to go on to Charleston Avenue, straight shot to 17th Street. Unfortunately, by the time you get to 19th Street, you're going to hit road construction. That's okay, because 19th Street, if you turn left on 19th Street, you're going to end up on Broadway. And right about there, you're going to end up at the Amtrak station. That's where the sign is. It's not at the Amtrak station. It's going to be right across the street from the Amtrak station. You can't miss it. It's a double-sided sign. There it is. Alright. From Broadway, go back onto 19th Street and go back down to Charleston Avenue, go back onto 21st Street, go back onto Marshall Avenue, and go straight shot on Illinois 16 to Charleston. When you get to Charleston, Illinois 16 becomes Lincoln Avenue. Okay? And you're going to take Lincoln Avenue, and you're going to make a left-hand turn on 4th Street. and you're going to go all the way up 4th Street to a street called Jackson Avenue. Jackson Avenue is a one-way, so you're going to turn right. You're going to go all the way to 6th Street. From 4th Street to 6th Street is just a hop, skip, and a jump. You're going to be right at the courthouse. And you'll park somewhere along in there, and that's where the double-sided sign is. Okay? Now, what you want to do there, let me find the right map here. See, I drew maps. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay. You're going to find Madison Avenue from 6th Street. But when you do, what you want to do, actually, what I would do is, instead of finding Madison Avenue, I would simply go from 4th Street to 5th Street. Okay? And take 5th Street all the way up. You're going to go northbound on 5th Street until you reach the 130. Now 5th Street becomes 130, believe it or not. Okay? But what you need to do is get onto 5th Street somehow. And I really didn't draw this right. I thought it was Madison. Madison kind of ends at 5th Street. But what you want to do is you want to get on 5th Street, and you're going to take it straight up. 5th Street becomes Illinois 130. Okay? And you'll drive 130 for forever. There is absolutely nothing out there. Literally. I mean, it's nothing but farmland. As soon as you get out of Charleston, it's nothing but farmland. And you're going to drive for what you think is forever. And you're going to end up turning right onto 133. And once you do, you're going to go into Oakland. Alright? And what you're going to do is you're going to find Pike Street. You're going to stay on 133, and you're going to go right into town, and you're going to keep following that road until you find Pike Street. Now, unfortunately, there is a nice little sign there that says historical marker ahead, and it shows you the house you're supposed to go to. And you'll find this beautiful house, and right in front of the house is another one of those looking for Lincoln signs. Once you get done with Oakland, you're going to go back onto 133. You're going to turn left onto 130. And then you're going to find 4th Street again. Okay, when you get back to Charleston, you're going to find 4th Street again. You're going to take that 4th Street straight shot. Don't stop. Don't turn for nothing. Stay on 4th Street, and you're going to go straight down to Lerna. Now, let's see. Okay, here we go. The nice thing about 4th Street is they actually tell you you're going to find this Lincoln Log Cabin historic site if you follow this path. Just don't turn. Don't turn for anything. Because if you do, you're going to get lost instantly. Okay? So do not turn. Just keep following the road. It kind of loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-loops. Okay? Just follow the loop-de-loop-de-loop-loops. And you will end up, there's a sign, there's a veer off, and the veer off takes you to Thomas Lincoln's grave. That was beautiful. And you'll veer off to the right. You come back, and you go like a hop, skip, and a jump later, and you'll find the Lincoln Homestead Park. Okay, and it's on your left-hand side. Once you do that, then you got a little problem. And I'm going to have to do some research on this. Personally, if I were you, I would head back for Charleston. There's supposed to be a Trilla Road that's supposed to connect Homestead Park to Illinois 45. It's called the Trilla Road. It's supposed to take you to the town of Trilla. I never found it. There are hardly any signs out there. The signage out there is terrible. And I ended up in a town called Toledo before I was all said and done. And from Toledo I was able to find 121, which then took me to oh man, I can't even remember what town it was. Oh, I wish I could remember now. But it took me to a town, and from that town I was able to climb onto Illinois 57, which then took me to Effingham. Beautiful town that took me there. Glad I found it. But if you go from Toledo onto 121, you'll eventually end up at Neoga. That's the town I was thinking about, Neoga. You end up in Neoga, and once you get to Neoga, nice people out there. I'm very glad I met them. They were really nice. They helped me get back onto 57. And if you climb onto Illinois 57 from Neoga, you can go all the way to Effingham, and once you do, right off the interstate, there's a nice little Ryan's restaurant if you wanted to go there and get yourself something to eat. Great place, loved it. And then from there, I just traveled to a friend's house and went home. So anyway, that's pretty much the crux of my trip. Hopefully you followed my directions. The placement of the signs that Google had were correct. Okay, they were exactly where they were supposed to be. However, well, except for the ones that Shelbyville, but that's only because I haven't placed them up yet. However, this Trillo Road, I'm going to have to do more research on it. I don't know what the heck went wrong, but I couldn't find it. There you go. Anyway, I will tell you more in a future video. I'm sorry I didn't make it to Vandalia. By the time I got to Effingham, it was 5 o'clock, and I was like, man, it's over. I got a friend to see, and it's over. So, I didn't make it to Vandalia. I will on my next adventure. And, you know, remember, even if I'd have made it to Vandalia by 6 o'clock, I would have still had to videotape 10 signs out there. I wasn't going to do it. It was insane. I had already spent half my day traveling, so, yeah. That's pretty much all I got to say for now. You've seen what I was talking about in the line of traveling. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.